Jai Shri Mataji. And welcome to this evening's UK meditation. Where just as I was beginning the broadcast, many of you will know this already, but I learned the very sad news that Pandit Prabhakar Dakkara Guruji passed away today. And with genuine sadness that I've received this news. Just an incredible musician and human being. So he was a composer, violinist, and a harmonium player from the Nirmal Sangeet Sarita music group, and we had the news a few days ago that he'd suffered a heart attack, and so he's with Mother now. And so, as part of this evening's meditation, we can give thanks for his life and pray for his safe transportation, which I think is pretty much guaranteed, into the lap of our Mother. And that was him, of course, playing in the intro. So we'll hear more from him at the end of tonight's meditation. But for now, let's enjoy our meditation. And begin, of course, by raising our Kundalini and putting ourselves in Bandhan. And then I'll tell you a little bit about what's in store for the evening. So before anything else, I have to say I'm encountering one small technical issue, which I don't know if you can see it on your screen, but my laptop is warning me that it will sleep soon unless plugged into a power outlet, and I'm currently cannot locate the charger. It will turn up. My wife is running around looking for it. So if we disappear, sit tight. Continue to meditate, and I will be back on as soon as possible. But I hope that won't happen. So tonight we're going to have, I think we will start with a talk from Mother for about 30 minutes or so. And then we'll have a short meditation and have some silent meditation for a little while. And then I will, I've got a short film about William Blake that I made during the pandemic, during the lockdown. And also we'll have some readings from Rabindranath Tagore and Khalil Gibran. And then we can meditate further to the music of our dear Guruji. And I hope I'll find my charger. If everyone can give a bandhan for me to find the charger, I'm sure we'll find it.
Activity built in yourself, you cannot help another person. So a certain amount of growth is needed in the whole body to be sensitive enough to help each other, to be wise enough to help each other, to be resourceful enough to really nourish another. And that development has to come again through collectivity. It's most surprising. I know sometimes people feel that there are Sahajogis who are not even of one mind. I agree that somebody will say your Vishuddhi is catching, another will say your heart is catching, another will say your void is catching. They don't say that all of them will say the same thing. One will say this, one will say that, one will say that. The reason is some of them have developed a certain sensitivity to a certain center, but not to all the centers. And that's how there can be a difference of opinion, as there should not be at all. So firstly, we must all know that we are still growing. We have to still grow. In Sahaja Yoga, even if you get your realization, that doesn't mean you have suddenly become John the Baptist. We all have to grow. And for growing and growth, we have to discard something and we have to accept something. And the best thing that should be discarded is your ego. And it comes in so many ways that it creates a barrier between you and your Creator. Sometimes this ego can take you to anti-God activities and you will not know that it is your ego is taking down there. Because the identification with ego has been not in this life but in many lives before us. So to get misidentified, or we can say to get dissolved, or this ego, or to get away from this ego, is a difficult. But as you grow out of the mud of this ego, the lotus starts becoming fragrant and everybody can see that fragrance. It is more difficult in the Western countries than in the East. Because the whole basis of the growth in the West has been so far based on ego and competition. There is no competition in Sahaja Yoga. You just think, if one finger starts competing with another finger, what will happen? It is as absurd as that. Now we are talking of fruits. We are not talking of the shoot, what people have achieved through Western style of thinking. Now we have to go deep down into the roots. So we must change our methods. There is no competition at all among roots. They help each other. If one fails, another goes and helps. That is how this living process can work out. We have to change our ways of tackling ourselves and others. And we have to realize that God's power of love is the highest, deepest, and the mightiest. And this is the power of love that we have to assert. But love just does not mean that you spoil someone or tell lies just to please someone. It may not be pleasing in the beginning, maybe, but ultimately it will. So when you have to talk to someone, of course, you need not be arrogant or rude at all. You should be sweet. You should be kind, compassionate. But it's no diplomacy going on there. It's not any that you are trying to get out some votes from that person. It's a guideline you are giving to the person. And the guideline can be even silent. The greatest guideline for anyone is the precepts you follow, the ideals you have, the way you behave. You know, in India, one person gave realization to 10,000 people. And how he impressed others. He impressed others because he went to an office, a commissioner's office, for some his personal work. And then he started talking in such a manner that they couldn't understand that this man has come for some practical, every day-to-day stuff. And the way he's talking, the way he's behaving, the way he's dignified, and so firm. How is he managing that? So they said, who is your guru? Immediately it came into their head, must be some good guru here there. He said, I have no guru. I have only a mother. He said, we all have. That's how it started. So one must know that by your own behavior, you can talk to another person. And that behavior should not be superficial, must be coming from the heart, the concern that this person should be offering. Genuine concern. And even a dog knows that. You don't have to tell anybody by taking some sort of a vow. But even a dog knows what is a genuine concern and what is not a genuine concern. With that concern, you have to talk. And that is what we lack, is the genuineness within ourselves. Our heart is not open. Open your hearts. Now you have entered into the kingdom of God. Open your hearts. Just see yourself, why have you got fear? For what? Ultimately, what is going to happen? We are all going to die, isn't it? So fix that point. One, we are going to die. Whether a tiger eats us or we jump from anywhere. Something has to happen to us to die. So why should there be any fear? Now, if there could be a genuine fear, is this that you may not receive your realization. Even this genuine fear has no meaning, because this will also kill your chances of realization. If you believe that God is great and that His compassion is great, really from your heart, you will get your realization, no doubt. You all are there for that. And the divine power itself is anxious to do it. Extremely anxious. You can see. Can you believe that there are so many people who are realized souls today in this London? I came here about 20 years back, and if somebody had told me that there are going to be so many realized souls here in this place. I would never have believed, because at that time I had met very few in the whole world, I would say. So the things are happening, but be patient and believe in the mercy of God, in the kindness of God, in His compassion, in His anxiety to give you this gift of realization. And this is one of the greatest hindrances people have when they do not feel their vibrations. Today I received a letter from Jill, and she said she went with my photograph to be framed or something in a shop. And the shopkeeper, that lady, she looked at the photographs, she was a little bit, I don't know, concerned. And she said, whose photograph is this? So Jill just said that to put your hands towards it. Oh God, what has happened? As if some door has opened. Just she put hands there and she gets that. And Jill was amazed, because 6 months she never felt anything. She was breaking her head with it. Mother, I never feel cool breeze, I never feel cool breeze. She is a great seeker, no doubt. And now she says that her brother came and he didn't feel the cool breeze. So Jill said, you have a bad liver. Yes, yes. How do you know? I have. I have got pain in the liver. I've had problems with the liver. So Jill said, put your hand towards the photograph and put your left hand on the liver. Oh God, I am feeling this. I am feeling the tingling and this and that. And he showed the finger for the liver. And she was amazed that this gentleman just walks into the shop where so many people are coming, going. No Caxton Hall, no peaceful atmosphere, no other surgeon visiting there. And suddenly you find this gentleman feels the cool breeze. Not only that, but he can exactly say where he is catching. Nothing happened, no trembling in the hands, no shaking, no burning. And he felt better on the liver. She couldn't understand. What was the reason? The reason is very simple. When you come for a program, there are many others who are already feeling vibrations. And you don't feel it. It's like, you see, they have a property and you don't have, sort of a thing. So your mind which has worked through competition, mind which has worked through realizing that somebody has something I don't have, haves and have-nots. That mind starts putting fear into your head. Oh God, will you have it or not? Will I get it? Or even if I get it, will I lose it? And that fear I see on the faces of many new people. Give up that fear. You are all going to get your realization. Give up that fear. You have not entered into any competition here. Just to relax. Just relax. Then the more you want to do about Sahaja Yoga, again you are tense. I have to meditate early in the morning, I have to get up tomorrow early in the morning. You see, you go on pestering yourself, whole night you won't sleep. And when you are meditating, you are dozing. Relax. God is looking after you, believe. He is going to give you realization and He is going to look after you and He is going to wake you up in the morning too. But relax. The first idea that I can do it is wrong. He has to. It's not working out because you think you can do it. If you can come to this conclusion that I cannot do it, it is His mercy, His graciousness has to come. But after realization, you have to do something in the sense, you have to desire. But when I say you have to desire it, again you will say, all right, now I am going to sit down here and nail myself to this place and I am going to sit down and desire it. This desire is a dead desire. You see, just pushed onto your head that, oh, I must desire, mother has told I must desire. You have to be hungry. You don't say that I have to desire that I have to be hungry, do you? The hunger is from within, which is there, no doubt, but is clouded. The hunger is clouded because you have fear. If you put a goat before a tiger and give him to eat, he will reduce with that eating whatever it is. Because it has that fear that there is a tiger which is going to eat you. So first kill all the imaginary tigers around you. Again we come back to the same. That desire must come from within. And it is there. What is clouded? Relax. It should not be that I am very relaxed. It's childlike. It's simple. A relaxed person is just like a child. So not to get frantic. Try to relax. That's all. For everyone. But relaxation never means that you are inactive. On the contrary, the person who is relaxed is extremely active on the exterior, but inside is absolutely silent. Absolutely relaxed and at ease. Outside you may feel, as you know now, at this time, tremendous vibrations are flowing. And I can see the flow, tremendous. And all the chakras are doing like this around me. But I see them and they are playing. At the most I may stop talking. But it is flowing. So whether it is for the seeking or for anything else in the world, the first thing is that you must take an attitude of a relaxed witness. If you can do that, then those who are not feeling vibrations will definitely feel. I've seen people on whom I've been working, it wouldn't work out. Of course, they were not rude or even arrogant, but felt very sad that they couldn't get the vibration. So I said, all right, today you go and enjoy the flowers in the garden, enjoy the birds, and talk to the sky and come back to them. It works out. Because you have been always like this. In Sahaja Yoga, you don't have to achieve anything. You become. First you become, and then mentally you understand Sahaja Yoga. But those who try to understand Sahaja Yoga mentally first are really in for trouble. Because when you read it, it sounds so great and you think, oh God, where am I? So, please, if you give realization to someone, take it easy. It will grow. Don't give Advent to read. Next moment. We do it. Why? We think we should impress the person that Sahaja Yoga is a great thing and the person must read Advent, so he'll come to Sahaja Yoga and we'll establish this man because he will see and will be impressed. If somebody is going to be impressed by these things, such a person is of no use for Sahaja Yoga. Take it from me. If they are going to be impressed by something exterior and superficial, how far will they go? They have to achieve it within themselves, their own spirit. They have to be impressed by themselves, by their own achievements. If you understand this simple principle, that when we become the spirit, we manifest a power which is just the opposite of any other so-called powers. Like you take science, it will analyze. Sahaja Yoga will synthesize. Take philosophy, so-called, it will try to find out the dogmas. Sahaja Yoga will neutralize all barriers of all the religions. Because all these forces are deadening, they deaden. The religion is deadened, God is deadened, everything is deadened by that. While Sahaja Yoga is a living force within you. And that's how it neutralizes all that is destructive, all that is deadening. It's a living force of God. It's a very powerful force. It's very wise. It understands everything. We have heard about it, but we never believed there could be such a force. And the first time we feel that force, we don't want to believe it. How can that be? Because we still don't believe that we can be the source of that force, which is integrating, which is synthesizing completely, which nourishes, which helps you to rise above falsehood to reality. It doesn't allow any falsehood to build in. While all other forces, whatever you try, political forces, based on falsehood. Absolute falsehood. All politics is based on falsehood. We can see that. How can you explain the policies of these nations? You just don't understand. All falsehood. Your democracy is democracy. Your communism, I don't know what sort of a thing it is. All absurd, perverted, and false. But in reality, you are a communist, you are a democratic person, everything within yourself is the spirit. But to become the spirit, if you stand on falsehood and want to achieve it, you cannot. Give up all that. Become the spirit. Then you start seeing from the window of the spirit, everything is different. So the falsehood that we have accepted throughout stops your vibrations. All this is falsehood. Believe me. The truth is God's love. That's the only truth there is. That's why I say that God is love and He is truth. The rest is all falsehood. And if you believe in this principle to begin with, really from the heart, then this power starts flowing through you. It's the most powerful thing, universal thing, which is doing thousands and thousands of things, of making these beautiful flowers, fragrant flowers, our heart beating, creating human beings, animals, everything is done through this living power. And this living power just has to flow through. And believe me that human beings are the only instruments of that power. Some people think of compassion and think that they must help other people. That's false. You can't help. You help on a superficial basis. The only help one can give to another is when you become part and parcel of that great being and realize that other cells are also there, who are awakened or may be awakened. That's the real help. That's the real compassion. That's real happening. Sahaja Yoga is definitely the deep understanding of this fact. We indulge into activities which are superficial and could be anti-God, as I told you. But for Sahaja Yoga, the activities are extremely simple. Even a finger movement like that is sufficient to do tremendous things. There's no need to stand on your head for it. Awakening is your own. There's no problem on that. The problem is to prepare yourself for that awakening by not preparing yourself. Be unprepared. Be simple. Just be simple. Be childlike. Just that. Which is such a difficult thing to be simple. No elaborations are needed. Nothing is needed for that. No preparations as such, except open your heart. Now, how will you open? Like that? Pay attention to your heart. Just pay attention to your heart. You'll be amazed if you start melting. Just write your heart. The thawing starts as soon as you pay attention to it. Tensions will drop off. And you will feel full breeze.
Let's just meditate in silence. We won't disappear because the laptop charger has been found. So we'll have some silent meditation for a few moments. Never has there been a time in history more essential to open the heart than today. So let's have a short meditation on the heart. Beginning with Sri Ganesha's mantra, just one time. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Shri Ganesha, by uttering your name, divine vibrations flow through us and emanate from us. You are the sun and the moon, and like the power of the sun, you shed light upon us. And like the moon, the light emanates from us as reflection. It is you who have led us to the lotus feet of our mother. Mother, please come into my heart. Let me clean my heart so that you are there. Put your feet into my heart. Let your feet be worshipped in my heart. Let me not be in delusion. Take me away from illusions. Keep me in reality. Take away the sheen of superficiality. Let me enjoy your feet in my heart. Let me see your feet in my heart. Jai Shri Mataji. Mother, for most of us, the very first thing you taught us was this simple affirmation: I am the Spirit. Mother, please always let me feel the joy of the Spirit. This is a prayer that will never be denied by the infinite love and grace of our Holy Mother. Please let us feel the joy of the Spirit any time of the day or night. And with the right hand on the left heart, if you haven't got it there already, let's take the mantra Shiva Parvati. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Shiva Parvati Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devye Namo Namaha. Shri Shiva Shakti Putra Kartikeya. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Shiva Shakti Putra Kartikeya Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devye Namo Namaha. And we can say Om Namaha Shivaya 12 times. Om Namaha Shivaya. 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 With the hand on the center heart. Srimataji, by your grace, I am compassion. I am confident. I am fearless. I am certain in my knowledge of Sahaja Yoga. I am under your protection. Shri Jagadamba Durga Mata. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Jagadamba Durga Mata Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devye Namo Namaha. Shri Mataji, please open my heart and strengthen my power to open the hearts of others. And on the right heart, Shri Sitarama. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Sitarama Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devye Namo Namaha. Shri Mataji, by your grace, you have blessed us with the mantle of responsibility to enlighten the world By your grace, we think not of ourselves, but put others first. Helping them to find the moksha. To open the doors. As William Blake said, to open their eyes to the eternal worlds. So let's take a deep breath and let the air out. And on the second breath, release the Om and let the word Om ride on the exhaling breath. So first of all, a silent breath. And breathe in again. And twice more. Meditate in silence a few more moments. And now we can have 3 poems by realized souls to open the heart. Thou hast made me endless, such is thy pleasure. This frail vessel thou emptiest again and again, and fillest it ever with fresh life. This little flute of a reed thou hast carried over hills and dales, and has breathed through it melodies eternally new. At the immortal touch of thy hands, my little heart loses its limits in joy and gives birth to utterance ineffable. Thy infinite gifts come to me only on these very small hands of mine. Ages pass, and still thou pourest, and still there is room to fill. This is from the Gitanjali by Rabindranath Tagore. Song of the Flower. I am a kind word, uttered and repeated by the voice of nature. I am a star fallen from the blue tent upon the green carpet. I am the daughter of the elements, with whom winter conceived, to whom spring gave birth. I was reared in the lap of summer, and I slept in the bed of autumn. At dawn, I unite with the breeze to announce the coming of light. At eventide, I join the birds in bidding the light farewell. The plains are decorated with my beautiful colors, and the air is scented with my fragrance. As I embrace slumber, the eyes of night watch over me. And as I awaken, I stare at the sun, which is the only eye of the day. I drink dew for wine, and hearken to the voices of the birds, and dance to the rhythmic swaying of the grass. I am the lover's gift. I am the wedding wreath. I am the memory of a moment of happiness. I am the last gift of the living to the dead. I am a part of joy and a part of sorrow. But I look up high to see only the light, and never look down to see my shadow. This is wisdom which man must learn. That was by Khalil Gibran. And the last of the 3, but by no means least. The gods bow low, the angels sing, as her divine grace enters in. Diamonds sparkle in the velvet night of eyes. With swaying, graceful footsteps, she walks the earth. Her blue-black hair ripples down her back. the eyes that can caress and redeem and banish evil in one glance. Fall upon her child who cannot bear the powerful all-seeing gaze that goes beyond time, action, or deed, only watching the playful dance of Kundalini. My mother's fragrance is of rain-washed forest glades, filled with spring flowers of every shade. Alone, she walks the earth, we stand amazed. Her white sari, blown back, brushes my human skin. Gratitude fills each pore, half-life becomes whole once more. Sing out thy heart, little birds, tell it to the world, the mother has come again. Here beside the watchful ocean, she sleeps a wakeful sleep, and her soft breath blows the rippling waves. Weave a dance of joy, little birds, and ride upon this fragrant breeze of love. Tell it to the children playing on the shore. Listen to our lovely sweet song, sweet children, and know that your mother has come for you. No more hiding, no more sulking. Do not run and lose yourself once more. Run to her generous arms. Stay there in the lap of all humanity and meet thy true joyful self. She will shower you with all you have yearned these many lives and more. Fly higher and higher, little birds, and proclaim this joyful song. The goddess has come. Spread out thy wings now and bathe in the glory of the sun. That was from our dear sister, Dania Martolio. Again, a few moments silence, and then we can watch a short film about William Blake.
Voices of children are heard on the green, and laughing is heard on the hill. My heart is at rest within my breast, and everything else is still. Then come home, my children, the sun is gone down, and the dews of night arise.
of the sleep of Ulro, and of the passage through eternal death, and of the waking to eternal life.
This theme calls me in sleep night after night, and in the morn wakes me at sunrise. And then I see the Saviour over me, spreading his beams of love and dictating the words of this mild song.
Awake, awake, O sleeper in the land of shadows, wake, expand. I am in you and you in me, mutual in love divine. Fibres of love from man to man, through Albion's pleasant land. In all the dark Atlantic vale, down from the hills of Surrey, a black water accumulates. Return, Albion, return. Thy brethren call thee, and thy fathers and thy sons, thy nurses and thy mothers, and thy sisters and thy daughters weep at thy soul's disease, and the divine vision is darkened. Where hast thou hidden thy emanation, O lovely Jerusalem, from the vision and fruition of the Holy One? I am not a God afar off. I am a brother and friend. Within your bosoms I reside, and you reside in me. Lo, we are one, forgiving all evil, not seeking recompense. Ye are my members, O ye sleepers of Beulah, land of shades.
But the perturbed man away turns down the valleys dark, saying, We are not one, we are many. Thou most simulative phantom of the overheated brain, shadow of immortality, seeking to keep my soul a victim to thy love. My mountains are mine own. I will keep them to myself. Here I will build my laws of moral virtue. Humanity shall be no more, but war and princedom and victory.
Albion's mountains run with blood. The cries of war and of tumult resound into the unbounded night. Every human perfection of mountain and river and city are small and withered and darkened. Trembling I sit day and night. My friends are astonished at me. Yet they forgive my wanderings. I rest not from my great task, to open the eternal worlds, to open the immortal eyes of man, inward, into worlds of thought, into eternity. A robin redbreast in a cage puts all heaven in a rage. A dove house filled with doves and pigeons shudders hell through all its regions. A dog starved at his master's gate predicts the ruin of the state. A horse misused upon the road calls to heaven for human blood. Each outcry of the hunted hare a fibre from the brain does tear. A skylark wounded in the wing, a cherubim does cease to sing. The game cock, clipped and armed for fight, doth the rising sun affright. Every wolf and lion's howl raises from hell a human soul. The wild deer, wandering here and there, keeps the human soul from care. The lamb, misused, breeds public strife, and yet forgives the butcher's knife. A truth that's told with bad intent beats all the lies you can invent. It is right it should be so. Man was made for joy and woe, and when this we rightly know, through the world we safely go. Joy and woe are woven fine, a clothing for the soul divine. Under every grief and pine runs a joy with silken twine. Every night and every morn some to misery are born. Every morn and every night some are born to sweet delight. Some are born to sweet delight, some are born to endless night. We are led to believe a lie when we see not through the eye, which was born in a night, to perish in a night, when the soul slept in beams of light. God appears and God is light to those poor souls who dwell in night, but does a human form display to those who dwell in realms of day. I've always found that angels have the vanity to speak of themselves as the only wise, and this they do with a confident insolence sprouting from systematic reasoning.
The ancient tradition that the world will be consumed in flames at the end of 6,000 years is true, as I have heard from hell. For the cherub with his flaming sword is hereby commanded to leave his guard at the tree of life, and when he does so, the whole of creation will be consumed and appear infinite and holy, whereas now it appears finite and corrupt. This will come to pass by an improvement in sensual enjoyment. But first, the notion that man has a body distinct from his soul is to be expunged. This I shall do by printing in the infernal manner, by corrosives, which in hell are salutary and medicinal, melting apparent surfaces away, and displaying the infinite, which was hid. If the doors of perception were cleansed, everything would appear to man as it is, infinite. For man has closed himself up till he sees all things through the narrow chinks of his cavern.
Men are not admitted into heaven because they have curbed or governed their passions, or because they have no passion. The treasures of heaven are realities of intellect from which all the passions emanate in their eternal glory. The fool shall not enter into heaven, be he ever so holy. Holiness is not the price of entrance into heaven.
As my dependence is on engraving at present, I find on all hands great objections to my doing anything but the mere drudgery of work, and intimations that if I do not confine myself to this, I shall not live. This has always pursued me. You will understand from this the source of all my uneasiness. For that I cannot live without doing my duty to lay up treasures in heaven is certain and determined, and to this I have long made up my mind. And why objection should be made to me when drunkenness, lewdness, gluttony, and even idleness itself does not hurt other men? Let Satan himself explain. The thing I have most at heart, more than life, or all that seems to make life comfortable without, is the interest of true religion and science. And whenever anything appears to affect that interest, especially when I myself neglect any duty to my station as a soldier of Christ, it gives me the greatest of torments. I am not afraid, ashamed or averse to tell you what ought to be told. that I am under the direction of messengers from heaven, daily and nightly. But the nature of such things is not, as some suppose, without trouble or care. Temptations are on the right and on the left, and behind the sea of time and space roars and follows swiftly. He who keeps not right onwards is lost. And if our feet slide in clay, how can we do otherwise than fear and tremble? But if we fear to do the dictates of our angels, if we tremble at the tasks set before us, if we refuse to do spiritual acts because of natural fears or natural desires, who can describe the dismal torments of such a state? I too well remember the threats I heard. If you who are organized by divine providence for spiritual communion refuse and bury your talent in the earth, sorrow and desperation follows you through life, and after death, shame and confusion of face to eternity. Everyone in eternity will leave you, aghast at the man who was crowned with honor and glory by his brethren, and who betrayed their cause to their enemies. You will be called the base Judas, who betrayed his friend. Such words would make any stout man tremble. But I am no longer in that state, and I now go on with my task, fearless. And though my path be difficult, I have no fear of stumbling while I keep it.
The nature of my work is visionary or imaginative. It is an attempt to restore what the ancients called the Golden Age. To cast aside from poetry all that is not inspiration. To cast off the idiot questioner who is always questioning but never capable of answering, who sits with a sly grin, silent, plotting when to question like a thief in a cave, who publishes doubt and calls it knowledge, whose science is despair, whose pretense to knowledge is envy, whose whole science is to destroy the wisdom of the ages, to feed ravenous envy that rages around him like a wolf, day and night, without rest.
Rouse up, O young men and women of the new age. Set your foreheads against the ignorant hirelings, for we have hirelings in the camps, in the courts, in the universities, who would, if they could, forever depress mental and prolong corporeal war. Painters, on you I call, sculptors, architects, suffer not the fashionable fools to depress your powers by the prices they pretend to give for contemptible works, or the expensive advertising boasts they make of such works. Believe Christ and his apostles that there is a class of men whose whole delight is in destroying.
The last judgment will be when imagination, art and science and all intellectual gifts, all the gifts of the Holy Ghost, are looked upon as of no use, and only contention remains to man. Then the last judgment begins, and its vision is seen by every one according to the situation he holds. My drawing of the Last Judgment is one of these stupendous visions. Here they are no longer talking of what is good and evil, or of what is right or wrong, and puzzling themselves in Satan's labyrinth, but are conversing with eternal realities as they exist in the human imagination. There exist in that eternal world the permanent realities of everything which we see reflected in this vegetable glass of nature. All things are comprehended in their eternal forms in the divine body of the Saviour, the true vine of eternity, who appeared to me as coming to judgment among his saints and throwing off the temporal, that the eternal might be established.
Last judgment is necessary because fools flourish. That is a last judgment when men of real art govern and pretenders fall.
I hear a voice you cannot hear that says I must not stay. I see a hand you cannot see that beckons me away. Naked we came here, naked of natural things, and naked we shall return. But while clothed in divine mercy, we are richly clothed in spiritual, and suffer all the rest gladly.
O Holy Virgin, clad in purest white, unlock heaven's golden gates and issue forth. Awake the dawn that sleeps in heaven. Let light rise from the chambers of the east and bring the honeydew that cometh on waking day. O radiant morning, salute the sun, roused like a huntsman to the chase, and with thy buskined feet appear upon our hills, appear upon our hills, appear upon our hills.
And so this brings us to almost the end of this evening's program, but I feel it's fitting that we should revisit this beautiful music by Pandit Prabhakar Dakhade Guruji, who passed away sadly today. May his spirit fly high into the heavens. And with immense gratitude, we celebrate what he leaves behind. And so we're going to end our program for tonight, but you can see on the screen the title of this video if you want to see it in its entirety. Of course, it's not actually live, but it is that is the title of the video. And if you want to search for it on YouTube, you can search that title. Just by entering Guruji is live from Nagpur should be enough. And you can watch this video in its entirety. And celebrate this great gentleman. But for now, we will end the program. And I wish you all a absolutely beautiful rest of the evening and week to come. And well, it's not too late to say Happy New Year. Jai Shri Mataji.